So this is a build out of how to do an actual reactivation campaign. This was something that I thought was extremely difficult when I was in practice, and it turns out it's really, really easy. And the fact that people sell this as a course for a couple of $1,000s kind of irks me a little bit. So I'm going to show you exactly what to do and how to set it up in GoHighLevel. That's the software we use because I have it. You can probably do this in like Kit, Malk, and like MailChimp, anything. You should be able to do it anywhere. Just to give you an idea of the bullshit that they're trying to sell you, so I'm not going to show the website, like I'm not going to just throw someone on the bus like that, but a marketing company is telling you that you can double your income and halve your clinical hours, take total control. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. But if you do their 5-minute reactivation system, you can get an extra 20 new patients a month, doubling your new patient flow in as little as 5 minutes a day, no paid ads, no waiting referrals, just simple automated results. Guys, if you're not doing this, you must be an idiot. Or maybe they're just talking shit to sell their course. So let's get this thing set up. So I'm just going to move this over here, and then we're going to share this screen. So the basic thing that you just need to understand here is that reactivations aren't a one-off event. They work better when you have a nurtured list. So there's some simple automations that you can set up that are going to make a difference here that will help keep in contact with people. That's kind of the point. There's a few layers to this. So I'm just inside GoHighLevel. This is because this is the one we use. You obviously can have your own system, but I'll show you the basics of it. So when we have the simplicity of it is this. We have an inactive opportunity column here, and then we have an active opportunity column here. We load up all of our active patients into this one. When someone goes inactive, we move them from there to there. That adds a tag, and that adds a reminder in 30 days to text that person and say, "How you doing? Do you want to come back in again?" That's the extent of it. I just saved you a couple of $1,000s. Congratulations. So what you need to set up in here is you need to understand there's management of the contact where they are. And then there's also just making sure that what the reminder is and where that goes and when you're doing it. So if you think what we teach people is to just go like on a certain day, maybe the first Monday of the month, go through and action all of the people who are 30 days overdue. Okay. But this will all make sense as we go through it. So now you've sort of got the basics of the workflow. It's literally like move from there to there, starts activation campaign. You're probably thinking, well, how do we do that? So once you've got your list there is a really simple automation that needs to exist. It lives in your pipeline optimizations. So what that is the pipeline's the thing that we're moving forward and back there. So what you need to do is if the tag will be added of active if they're in that pipeline. So if they are here, pipeline active, tag added, inactive. So this person's an active patient with an active tag. Then if the pipeline changes and it moves to inactive, we add an inactive tag. Pretty simple. You should be with me so far. So pipeline stage changes, you remove the active tag and you add the, it's playing games with me, inactive tag. Perfect. What does that do? That then, if that inactive tag is added here, we move them into an inactive workflow. So the build out of this workflow is this. Inactive tag added, so that other automation triggers. The workflow that triggers is your inactive reacts, and then you move them to the inactive pipeline if that's not been done yet. So you can either tag them like inactive, or you can just move them. Super easy, like way easier. Just use the pipelines to move people forwards and backwards. But in case the team goes around it, you've got a backup there. So if we then go to the workflow of 2.4, so that's the actual inactive reactivations that's happening inside of here. We go back, we go to nurture, we go to 2.4, inactive reacts. So then what's happening in the background here is this opportunity becomes an opportunity in that pipeline. Oh my God, it keeps moving left and right and not clicking it. There we go. The first step that goes in is a wait step. That wait step is for 30 days. So we do 3 follow-ups. We do a 30-day, a 60-day, and a 90-day follow-up. And it's literally just an SMS. Now, the difference here is the SMS needs to be personal because you know this person. So if I've been seeing you and you know that I play soccer and I've been struggling with my knee, and that's why I came and saw you, then it makes sense for you to text me and go, "Hey, Angus, season's coming up in a month or so. Just wanted to check in, see how your knee's feeling before the season starts." rather than just being like, hey, it's been 30 days since we saw you. You want to book back in? Effective, stupid. You're wasting your time. You just wasted a cent sending that message. So yes, it can be automated, but it needs to be personal because you know these people. Okay. So we have a 30-day wait step. We add a task. So, and I'll show you where this goes. This can be just this. So it's pretty much just message this person that it's been 30 days since we've seen them. Okay. Then you can assign a user, and then you can put a templated SMS, but you wouldn't, like, everyone's going to be different. So you might have like the layout of what actually gets said, like, hey, be like, hey, name, symptom, activity, check in, or something like that. Just a note for your team. That's the first one. So then there's going to be another 30-day wait. That's the 60-day wait there. And then we have a 90-day wait. It's the exact same thing 3 times over. Okay. So they go through this process 3 times. If they've gone 90 days and they've not responded, or they're not wanting to come back in, then they move off this SMS list and they go into emails. Okay. And that's another video. So that's the actual workflow build out inside of GoHighLevel. So what that then means, now that you've got an understanding, so there's a pipeline, like these 2 pipelines, boom, boom, move to there, active tag gets removed, inactive tag gets added. When an inactive tag gets added, they go into that workflow. It waits 30 days. It then gives us a reminder to send a message to that person. Cool. That's where we're up to so far. So then where are those messages going? Okay. Because the toughest thing about an inactive reactivation is remembering who's active, who's inactive, how long it's been, all that sort of stuff. So what we've done is we've made it a task inside the dashboard. So go to the dashboard up on the top left here, scroll down. You've got tasks and manual actions. So you can see one that I've run before. These will accumulate. So what I wouldn't say is go and check this every single day. I would just say once a month, pick a Monday, because you're probably going to want to respond. Like if you do a Friday and then someone responds on Saturday and then you don't reply till Monday, dumb. Okay, so probably go earlier in the week. Go first Monday of the month, CA or yourself if it's just you there. We're going to go through and clean this list out. Now this is going to have 30s, 60s, and 90s in it. That's fine, but the premise is the same. Okay, so you're going to go, cool, I've got all these tasks. They will come through here as a manual action. So you just click go to manual actions on this day. There'll be a big list here. You just hit let's start. Then it'll take you to the contact information. So it will take you straight into the location where you need to do the task. Okay. Let me find my peeps here. So sorry, Andy, I'm just going to hide all that. Cool. So it will take you straight to the SMS. I've got Andrew's email here. Sorry, mate. But it'll go straight to the SMS column. It will have your pre-filled SMS here, or with the notes for yourself. Then you just go in and you just send that message, you hit send, and then it'll automatically go to the next person straight into this area. So you're pretty well immediately just going through and you're just firing off those SMSs. Now, realistically, how many people are going inactive in your practice per month? Geez, I'd hope it's not more than 10. But if it is, maximum amount of tasks you're going to need to do is 30 of these messages on one Monday, once a month. Like, that's not a lot of work. Then once you've sent those messages, you tell your team to keep an eye on the conversations. Anything that's unread recent, that's going to tell you the combos that are actually happening. Then what you can do is work through this workflow. So it's like, okay, well then how do we speak to these people on the phone, on the message? That is in here. So we go to here. So what you need to keep in mind here is that this is it's talking to someone in the DMs. There's a couple of rules. If your message is longer than 1 sentence, you've gone too long. Like, keep it nice and chill. It's just a conversation. That's the first thing. Second thing is you're not solving problems here. You are showing them that there's a problem there. Okay, so don't go diagnosing. Don't go solving problems, telling them to do exercises, nothing like that. Just show them the problem that they have. Okay, so here's a positive response flow. Hey, Anna, it's been a while since we last saw you. Are you still dealing with any discomfort or issues? I personally would go a little bit more deep. So Aaron's wife. I know she does jujitsu. I'd be like, hey, Anna, it's been 30 days since we saw you last. How's your neck feeling after all the jujitsu that I know you've been doing? Something like that. Patient might say, oh yeah, my neck actually popped out the other day. Oh, no problems at all. How's it feeling? Like, what's going on? And basically you're starting a new patient consultation. That's what you're doing here. You're asking one open-ended question so that they can answer it. And you're leading them to a point where there is no other option than booking in. So it's like, okay, cool. Now that they know they have a problem, then you're just like, well, do you want to get it checked out? And for reactivations, you may have some kind of deal. Might be like, hey, look, totally understand. This is a reactivation. We'll get you in. We'll do a full assessment. And then, if we do an adjustment, we'll just charge the adjustment. We won't charge a whole nother reassessment again, or something like that. Most clinics already have a reactivation like pricing model. So just use whatever that is. And then you're pretty much going option A and option B. So do you want to book online? Do you want me to book it in for you? Perfect. Schedule that in for you. You get confirmation. I'll see you soon. A negative response would be, hey, no, it's been a while since we saw you. So same message. No, I'm all good. No worries at all. I'm going to leave you on the list. I'll text you another. I'll leave you on the list. I'll check in again in a month or so just to see how you're doing. Talk down. Thumbs up. If they then say don't, you D&D them, take them off the list. If they're like, don't say anything, cool. That's just like they're not ready yet. That's fine. So then if they don't respond, no problems at all. Your team doesn't have to go and waste their time chasing those people up. The only thing to keep in mind for those people who don't respond, just watch when you do the 60-day message that you don't send the exact same thing, because then it's not personal anymore. Make it slightly different. Okay. So it's an activity that probably takes like 30 seconds to do, but it makes a massive difference. It's just a check-in, see how things are going. Okay. So that's the conversation flow. So now what you've got is you can come into your system. You've got a better understanding of sort of how these work. So more than anything, it's just a reminder to message these people. That's the hardest part a lot of the time. You just forget how long it's been since someone's come in. I don't know how many people I've looked after, then they stop, and then I see them again, and then I look in their file and it's like, it's been 3 years since we saw you last. And you're just like, what? Like, where did that time go? This is to try and solve that problem. Okay. So it's keeping the conversation open. Now, this is on just one layer. This is just the reminder messages of keeping your active and inactive lists neat. So we're removing from active, putting on inactive, getting a 30-day reminder, 60-day reminder, 90-day reminder. You've got the workflow of how to build those out. Long story short, it is if they go inactive, add a tag. The tag triggers a workflow, which is the 30, 60, 90 waits and then messages that go to the dashboard to remind your team to do those. Once a month, the team comes in, they clean that list out. They look for any conversations. They go through those 2 negative or positive responses, book people in, or they let the list build up again over a month, and then they go in again and they do that again. That's the complexity of a reactivation campaign. That's just keeping in touch with people. So nice and basic. You don't need to set up anything else. There's no crazy double your new patient volume and double your income, halve your clinical hours, take total control bullshit. It's just, this is how you remind yourself to text people. There is another version of reactivations, lead reactivations and like offers inside the clinic. That is for another video. That is using events to start a reactivation. So we will do that in another video for you. The trick to that is you need a consistent email list. So we'll need to create an indoctrination sequence first by organizing your lists properly. So there's 3 lists that you should have and every single practice should have. First one is an active list. Second one is an inactive list. So those 2 there. Third one is a leads list. Reason for that is you want to target those 3 lists with different things. So active patients makes no sense to get an offer about an event for new patients. Doesn't make sense. Inactives and leads, that does make sense. Okay. A more generic, broad like event can just go to leads, whereas something a bit more tailored and specific could go to inactive patients. You basically got to look at these as different things because you have different relationships with these people. Actives are obviously in the practice. Inactives you've spent time with. Leads you haven't. They just need more time before they book in with you. Just more trust is another word for that. So that's nice and simply how you set up a couple of $1,000 reactivation campaign and double your whatever. Nice and simple. So this is just built in GoHighLevel. This is our Pracdev app. If you want access to this, you can get it. Jump in the skill group and I can show you how. You got to upgrade to premium. But that'll be pre-built. Like you can jump in and just do that straight away. But I'm pretty sure you'd be able to do something similar in Kit, MailChimp, whatever other mailing asset you need. These are SMSs. Technically, if you didn't have an SMS automation feature, you probably could do it in email. SMS is just a little bit more effective. That's all. The open rates are higher. That's why, because it's more intrusive. But yeah, that's how you do it. So you're welcome. If you want any more info, I'll link the school link down below. But yeah, that's how you do it.